Okay, guys, this is Amir of Gary Snow's The People's Patriot on the arrest of some frauditors. Please watch and please go subscribe.
Gary Snow, the People's Patriot, down here in Fort Myers today, stuck in traffic, and I just wanted to go live. Haven't gone live in a while. Haven't made any videos recently. Just got back from vacation. Was focusing on work, but wanted to make a video. Found out yesterday that two First Amendment frauditors were arrested this past Saturday in Lee County. The auditors were Jay Surreal Camera. He's somebody who is doing his First Amendment auditing shtick out here in the Fort Myers, Southwest Florida area. And also arrested was a man by the name of Mass Accountability. I swear I know that Mass Accountability. Isn't that Josh Abrams? I don't. It sounds familiar to me, but these gentlemen were driving around early in the early morning on Saturday, which was the arrest. I got the arrest records here. Date of arrest 11/12. Arrest time 23:30. So driving around on might have been Saturday into Sunday night, doing their cop watching. What these guys will do, we all know, they'll drive around. If they see a police officer pulled somebody over, or they're doing an investigation or something, they'll jump out, they'll start filming. And the number one thing that they like to do is run up to the police officer and say, "Give me your name and badge number," because I think they, like the power ego, that it gives them, the authoritarian issues that I think they have with police officers. So they like to try to be a big man and try to give them, "You work for me, give me your name and badge number." And this is part of their First Amendment audit. And a lot of the officers comply because it's the law. And I don't blame some that don't, because fuck you. Uh, a lot of these officers know these First Amendment auditors, who they are, what they do. But in this particular case, after reading the report, I found out that a couple of Lee County Sheriff's officers and a Fort Myers Police Department officer, they had pulled a car over because it came up as a stolen car. And they were doing an investigation. They had the driver out, talking to the driver, and Jay Surreal Camera and Mass Accountability came up with their cameras. I think originally they were at a safe distance. The police said, "Hey, we're conducting an investigation. Stay so far away." And I think they were, but that's not good content for their YouTube channels. They got to push, the edge. They got to, they have to, express their right to free speech. So they kept approaching the officers, sticking their camera in the officer's face while they're literally, conducting an investigation on a stolen car. First Amendment auditors, cop watchers, cop haters, fucking, they always bitch about, cops out there committing, arresting people for victimless crimes. Well, here's someone's stolen car. Here's somebody driving a stolen car. And here's our police officers doing their job and, maybe making an arrest. But Jay Surreal and Mass Accountability got out, stuck the camera in their face. The police said, "Stay back." And another tactic that these guys love to do, besides try to make videos on police making traffic violations, like running a stop sign or parking illegally, because that's really holding your police accountable, like traffic infractions. But what they like to do is they like to take their camera, and they say that anything in the line, and and what they can see, they can record. And that sometimes comes up as an issue when you're in the post office or at the tax collector's office and people are, paying their taxes or paying a bill and they have their credit card out or there's a transaction going on the screen. Well, they like to zoom in and, because they say whatever in the line of sight is free to the public and I can record. It's my First Amendment. So what these guys did and what they like to do is they like to go up to the police officer's car and try to film the inside of their car, because while a officer is conducting an investigation, he will have his laptop open and conducting an investigation. So you have people's personal information that's on that laptop. You have names, phone numbers, driver's license numbers. You have things that are happening, at that time. And one of the officers said, "Hey man, you can't record. I'm conducting an investigation." And of course, these guys, they fucking, stick their chest out. They act like, a bunch of fucking tough guys when they have a camera in their hand and, of course, attacking police officers, which is just low-hanging fruit. And again, I think these guys, have an authoritarian issue and they like to throw their weight around with the camera in hand to act tough. Well, the police officers, they were having it. They arrested him. They arrested him for, I believe, resisting, or it was resisting an officer, obstruction of justice. They were obstructing the investigation, and when they arrested, I think it was mass accountability. He fucking acted like a tough guy. Fuck this, whatever. So a little bit of resist without violence. They got 2 charges on them. So, but, what I like to do is, same thing these First Amendment auditors like to do, is I like to FOIA request, go in there and make a public records request. And, I always seem to not understand. Well, I do understand a lot of these First Amendment auditors, they don't use their real name. Andrew Sheets does, because he put that shit out a long time ago. Andrew Sheet has put out his driver's license number. Andrew Sheet has put out his social security number. Andrew Sheets is such a dumbass that he has literally taken his private information in and posted it to YouTube, to Facebook for everyone to see. But all these other auditors like to use their YouTube aliases, mass accountability, Jay Surreal, I don't even know, George Metz, what is he, Captain Asshole, or he's Captain Major Asshole now? Rogue Nation, Rights Krispy Treats, fucking Chuck Bronson, all these guys, they like to, because they don't want anyone to have their personal information. They don't want anyone to know who they are. Even though when they claim that they are journalists, they will use an alias. I don't know any journalists that use, they might change their name for certain reasons. Maybe they had a long Polish last name, like a movie star. But these First Amendment auditors, they don't want their information out there. But when they get arrested, everyone has access to it. So I will post these on my community page later with their mug shots. It typically looks like one of these First Amendment auditor mug shots. So we're going to start off with Jay Surreal Camera. Jay Surreal, real name is Jay Michael Lopez. They arrested him, said that he was a white male. I don't think Jay is a white male. I think he is Hispanic. So Jay Michael Lopez, Jay Surreal Camera, and he lives in Miami, Florida. I don't know if he still lives in Miami, but I mean, that's a 2-hour drive every day just to come out here to get YouTube content. I think there would be a lot of stuff happening in Miami. I don't really follow Jay's page. Jay Lopez, I don't follow his page, but yeah, he was arrested along with mass accountability. Thomas Paul Matson, I think they call him Tommy. Tommy Matson lives here in Naples, Florida, in Collier County. Did a little research. I think he's a 39-year-old child that lives with his dad, or at least his dad is the the name on the lease of the nice golf community that he lives in Naples here. But yeah, Thomas Paul Matson out of Naples, Florida. Both were arrested. They were in jail for, I think they said, like 15 hours or so. They had to get bailed out. Of course, they called their wives, and the wives had to come in and rescue their children out of jail because, you know, they just want to express their right to free speech. That's all they want to do. So I think the court date, if I'm not, I have on their arrest record via the Lee County Sheriff's Department website, it tells me the court date. I think it might be at the end of this month or the beginning, and it's coming up soon. So it would be nice to go to the court, and maybe outside the court I can, you know, get an interview with these guys and find out what happens at court. Maybe they'll get convicted of fine. I don't know. Maybe they'll try to sue. The police did confiscate both of their phones, so there really wasn't any video besides a Chuck Bronson pulled up and recorded the very end of them getting arrested, and that was the only video that they have. So I asked for body cam footage. The police said there is no body cam footage. So court date coming up for J. Michael Lopez, J. Surreal Camera, out of Miami, Florida, and Tommy Paul Matson, Mass Accountability, out of Naples, Florida. I will be attending. If anybody else wants to join me that's in the area, they're more than welcome. This will get filed with all the other names and addresses and aliases with all the other First Amendment auditors that we have down here in Florida. And hopefully in the future we will be able to do something to inform the public more about who these guys are, what they do, their tactics, their motives, which we all know is to make money via YouTube ad revenue. Because, you know, if you play music while a First Amendment auditor is conducting an audit, it freaks them out. I had what's his name, John Felix, barking like a dog. I mean, he literally, he even asked me, do you think this music bothers me? And I was like, no. He's like, well, it doesn't bother me. Well, he couldn't use any of the footage that he did that day because, well, they can't post music with, or they can't post videos with music on it because it's a copyright violation. So, just for everyone, you know, to be aware of, a First Amendment auditor's kryptonite is either you playing music while they're conducting their audit, or you do an audit on the auditors. They don't like when I ask questions. They get easily triggered. They do the walk of shame and walk away with their head between their legs because they just don't ever expect anyone to be out there asking them questions, telling them that they don't have the right to privacy when they're in the public domain. And I also have the right to express my freedom of speech and ask you questions with, you know, why and what are you doing out here? And they just don't like it. So that's all I have for now. I will post their mug shots with some more information on their court dates on my community page. Andrew Sheets has a court date coming up, I think in December, for his, he was arrested. Andy, like he said he said I was illegally arrested. And I find that odd because you broke the law. The police legally arrested you for breaking the law. I don't see what part of being illegally arrested that I just don't see that. Andy likes to say a lot of things are illegal. Andy likes to play the victim. I just got out of the City of Punta Gorda Code Enforcement Board, which is charging Andrew several code violations for their city ordinance against signage with the word fuck on it. And Andy was subsequently arrested because he was protesting abortion in front of an elementary school, and he was getting in front of the cars where the parents are dropping off their elementary school kids um, out in front of the school, and Andy had his fuck abortion sign, his fuck the police sign, his little mask of a pig eating a donut, and he continued to go out there. He went out there like 3 times, and by the third time, the parents had enough of him, and they brought a bullhorn out and they started interacting with Andy. Andy's got a bullhorn. The parents have a bullhorn, and they're going back and forth. And of course, Andy didn't like that. He thought that was, they're infringing on his right to free speech by actually standing up for their children from a fucking, who I believe, someone that's exhibiting mental disorders. I think he's a narcissist and a psychopath. I think a lot of these First Amendment auditors are narcissists because, they constantly need that gratification of YouTube likes and comments, and of course it works out for them because they make money at it. The more likes they get, the more subscribers they have. But Andy has like 6 YouTube channels, like 7 Facebook pages, several TikToks. None of his stuff is monetized because he violated community guidelines way too much. But he asked for donations. This is a way for him to make money because he's a handyman. He's a plumber. He cleans people's houses, and I just, with Andy, it's he like I was trying to get to back to, he always says something's illegal. He protested a 9-year-old girl in front of her elementary school, went to her school while school was in session, while the girl was at school, and had a fuck the police shirt, and made a sign of this girl with Sheriff Bill Permel, Charlotte County Sheriff, and this girl made these little wooden plaques of the Blue Lives Matter and the thin blue line flag. He made a sign of that girl, went to that girl's school, and sat outside while all the parents were dropping their kids off. And, of course he knows the law. You stand on the sidewalk, you're fine, listen, whatever. But it's just, what kind, he's a 54-year-old man-child that fucking protests a 9-year-old girl because she supports the police. And what I was trying to get at is he was saying that the school was illegally indoctrinating this 9-year-old girl. What? Everything is not illegal, Andy. Only the things that you do, as far as breaking the city code ordinance or, impeding traffic while people are trying to drop their kids off, or some of the other arrests and trespasses that he had, obstruction of justice, disorderly conduct. Those are all legal arrests that you're guilty of. And we'll find out what happens in court. I believe it's December 14th. I got to look and see. It'll be at the Charlotte County Courthouse. Andy he's been pushing all these court dates back, especially with the code enforcement, because he's got some lawyers involved, and they are going to try to say this is unconstitutional. The city ordinance, the ordinance right now has been appealed, and they're going to look. A higher court is going to take a look at it and see if it's constitutional or unconstitutional. I don't give two fucking. I'm a First Amendment supporter. I understand why the ordinance was written, and I'm kind of caught in a hard spot. I understand that it's unconstitutional, but I think the way that they wrote it makes it constitutional, and they aren't attacking Andrew specifically, but they wrote it vaguely so that it can kind of, stop Andy from terrorizing the community of Punta Gorda. This guy goes out every week, several times a week. He's a bandwagoner. He likes to, one day, for 8-9 years, he just protested, fuck the police, fuck you cops, fuck the police, fuck the police. And that's all he did. And then when he was arrested a couple times, made the news a couple times, people were like, "Holy shit!" Because he dressed up like a Nazi with like full Nazi garb and a Nazi flag, and he stood out in front of schools dressed like a Nazi, trying to say that the cops are Nazis. And it's funny, everyone knows if something goes wrong, Andy is the first person to call a cop. But he got some notoriety doing this, wearing the Hitler outfit. And I mean, it's everything that he's done has been, his own fault. He self-incriminates himself by posting the videos. He takes down stuff that does incriminate him. When he's smart enough, he'll take stuff down. But this ordinance, like I said, we'll see what happens in the appeals court if they find it unconstitutional. But at least they're being proactive with these First Amendment auditors. A lot of towns and communities already passed ordinances where you're not allowed to film in government buildings, courthouses, and things like that, which has only pushed these individuals out farther into little towns that have no problem with free speech or anything until these auditors come into town and start terrorizing this community, because this is a job. This is what they do for a living. This is what they feed off of: the likes, the comments, the subscribers. Hey, hit that like button. Hey, this is my PayPal. This is my Patreon. Send me money. A lot of people, I was talking to one gentleman at the courthouse today, and he's like, well, you have a YouTube channel. And I stated since the beginning, my channel is not monetized. I've never asked anybody to give me a thumbs up or like my page or share this video or subscribe to my channel. I've never asked anybody for any of that. I only use YouTube because this is the same platform that First Amendment auditors use. So this is where I can give my feedback, show my dissent, exercise my right to free speech, and expose, these auditors who like to try and stay hidden, like Thomas and Jay, George Metz, all these people that don't want their name out there. Rice Krispie, I think I already forgot Rice Krispie's name. Jesus, it's been a long time. You have the other individual, News Now South Florida. He's out of Alva or Arcadia. As soon as I found out, somebody reached out to me and said, hey, that guy's a teacher at a middle school? I said, what? I said, yeah. And sure as shit, I looked it up. Paul Dunn teaches social studies or something at Arcadia Middle School. And all of a sudden, he quit making videos. He's still active. They have an Action News Network channel. It's a group of them. Fitton Vargas. That's Rice Krispie's name. I couldn't remember it because that's the only Fitton I ever heard of. So Fitton Vargas. But News Now, South Florida, Paul Dunn, he's still active. He just quit making videos because it's probably, would not be good for his career, especially since he's paid by the government. So technically, if I was speaking like they do, Paul Dunn works for me. He's a teacher at a school. My taxes pay his salary. So, I guess that would afford me the right to show up to his school and protest Paul Dunn. Because basically that's what they do. They hold their government officials accountable. Well, I have a school teacher, News Now South Florida, who in the past has gone out and done First Amendment activities where he, berated and accosted and our police officers or government officials, to raise money via YouTube. I don't know how much salary, teachers are making with Joe Biden in office. They might be doing good because of the teachers union. I don't know, but I'm getting way off topic. So, gonna post mug shots later. They're funny as hell. A little methy, but I guess that's what you look like when you stay up out all night trying to find cops that pulled somebody over. So I'll post that. I'll give some more updates. Plan on doing some more YouTube videos. I just got to put it together. I don't know how long this traffic is. I've been sitting in this traffic for about an hour now. This is crazy. So post that stuff, do more updates, try to be a little bit more active. There are things in the works we plan on doing, and I'm very excited that people are getting involved, is all I can say. People are getting involved, and I plan to get more involved with my community, with my state, with my representatives, and we're going to attack this issue and expose those who like to use our Constitution for their own monetary gains and to harass and berate and stalk people at their jobs because they work for the government, or basically just anybody in the public domain. You know, Christmas season is coming up. There'll be a lot more auditors at the post office. Everyone will be there mailing their packages. There'll be the creepy guy standing in the corner just filming until somebody gets upset. I have been going to the post offices, and I told them, you got an intercom system? Just play music. Auditors will leave right away. Play Christmas music. It's Christmas time. Just play some Christmas music over your intercom. Or just get a Bluetooth speaker and put it out and just play Christmas. I guarantee you, auditors will turn around and walk out unless they don't have their channel monetized. For the ones that do, the ones that do this for a living, like John Felix, I think his channel was demonetized. I'm sorry, John. I guess you're going to have to rely on mom and dad's property management or whatever the fuck you do. I don't know. He's a pool hustler. He sells fucking coins. I don't know. He picks mushrooms. He's a jack of all trades, that John Felix. He likes to sing. He's a horrible singer. I don't know if how much money he's making off on the t-shirts of himself on the front of the t-shirts. Those are kind of funny. I would like one for Christmas, John. If you would like, I would send you my address. You can mail me one of your t-shirts. I would love that for Christmas. That would be fun. I'll put the one when you get arrested of your mugshot. I think that's what I should do. I should put a picture of the First Amendment auditor while they're doing their audits on the front and then their mugshot on the back. They might sell. I could do my own little t-shirt thing, sell them on YouTube. That'll be the only money that I make. And all the money that I make from, I'll donate it to, one of these government's facilities that these First Amendment auditors harassed. I'll take it to, I'll buy all the cops lunch or something. That would really piss them off. So, talk to you guys later. I'll post an update. I'm gonna be more active, and I'll talk to you guys.
Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side.
Day we hustle, but the night we
Know that they ride or die. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side.
Day we hustle, but the night
Boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. My name came up a lot, it sounds more when I was not around. Certain people that I know, they no longer.
Thank you to all my members. I appreciate you all. Please hit that join button on the channel. Please click that like, subscribe, and click the bell so you get notifications about all the new videos. Thank you.
More when I was not around. Certain people that I know, they ain't no longer about. I'm a OG boy. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side.